Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn a few more topics on publication and research ethics. These are the topics we are discussing on the title Publication Ethics. And today let us grasp a few details on violation of publication ethics, authorship and contributorship, identification of publication misconduct, complaints and appeals, and predatory publishers and journals. Now let us find out what is meant by violation of ethics. The major problems with respect to publication ethics are plagiarism and multiple submissions. Multiple submissions is almost impossible to detect while the manuscript is being processed. When the manuscript is accepted in one journal, the authors withdraw the same manuscript from other journals, stating that the manuscript processing cycle is too long for them to wait. When an author submits a manuscript to a scholarly journal, he or she declares that manuscript is currently not under consideration for publication elsewhere, but many do not hesitate to violate the declaration. Submitting the same manuscript as a new submission to the same journal could be due to lack of knowledge or experience in operating the online submission system. This could be a manual error and can be rectified by the editor or one of the editorial staff during preliminary screening of the manuscript. Sometimes authors provide unrelated or inappropriate affiliations which could not be verified. The institution where the work was carried out must be mentioned on the byline rather than the institution where the author is currently working. The address of the current workplace can be given under the correspondence address or in the footnote. When the author failed to submit evidence of ethics committee permission, it is difficult to decide whether any violation of research ethics was involved. Authors should have in their possession all the necessary source documents in original, including the ethics committee permission letter, data output sheets from the instruments, important communications, and copies of the cited papers in the manuscript at least for a few years. The scientific publication process is by and large built on trust. The mechanisms currently put in place to detect the unethical practices cannot be foolproof. The cunning and more determined author can break the regulations and get away with it. More often than not, the unethical publication practices come into light by chance rather than designed to detect them. That calls for self-regulation on the part of the authors, and journals should encourage them to follow the code of conduct. However, that does not mean the journals should stop screening for the violation of code of publication. Authors have equal or more responsibility in maintaining the ethical standard of the existing publication process. Realizing this fact and playing their role with all sincerity and honesty will definitely bring down the instances of unethical publication practices. Authors should be made to realize authorship implies not just credit but responsibility too. Now let us differentiate authorship and contributorship. Publishing research plays a critical role in a scientist's career. Publishing research outcomes helps researchers gain visibility in the scientific community as well as receive acknowledgement for their work. However, there is a lot of confusion and limited awareness among researchers about the guidelines that are required to be followed while listing authors and contributors. Currently, for researchers, the number and nature of studies that they publish is critical towards assessment of their work and has a significant impact on their career growth. The type and number of publications is a factor that is used to assess their suitability for tenured positions in universities. Often, a grant application is rejected or accepted based on the profile of the researcher who is submitting it. The mounting pressure of obtaining research funding, securing grants, as well as securing tenure leads to a race to publish research outcomes. What do you mean by authorship? The term authorship can refer to the creator or originator of an idea, like the author of the theory of relativity, or the individual or individuals who develop and fulfill or attain the product that disseminates or publishes intellectual or creative works, like the author of a poem or a scholarly article. Authorship conveys significant privileges responsibilities, and legal rights. In the domain of scholars, it also forms the basis for rewards and career advancement. Authors are accountable for following discipline, that is, scientific guidelines when they engage in authorship activities. Journal editors and publishers are accountable for making author guidelines transparent and appropriate for the medium and genre, like scholarly books or journal articles or creative writing. At a minimum, authors should guarantee that they have participated in creating the work as presented and that they have not violated any other author's legal rights or copyrights in the process. The International Committee of Medical Journal Editors (ICMJE) has set guidelines in place to define authorship. Most journals, as members of the ICMJE, expect authors to follow the ICMJE criteria for authorship. Individuals who meet all the following criteria can be listed as authors: substantial contributions to the conception or design of the work or the acquisition, analysis or interpretation of data for the work, drafting the work or revising it critically for important intellectual content, final approval of the version to be published, agreement to be accountable for all aspects of the work in ensuring that questions related to the accuracy or integrity of any part of the work are appropriately investigated and resolved. These recommendations thus establish both different types of contributions and levels of responsibilities. Any breach or violation of these guidelines can be considered unethical, and the authors would be subject to misconduct investigations at the university. In fact, there have been incidents in which published papers have been retracted because of non-adherence to the authorship guidelines. Who are the contributors and why are they called so? Contributing to research can broadly be classified into the following categories: intellectual contributions like ideas or writings, practical contributions like conducting research or data analysis, financial contribution like funds or experimental material. Any researcher who does not meet all four ICMJ criteria for authorship discussed above should be listed as a contributor. A technician or student who has only prepared some stock solutions for chemical or biological reactions, for example, should not be listed as an author. Instead, their contributions should be listed in the acknowledgement section of the article. According to ICMJE, those who do not qualify to be authors but made a contribution to the study should be acknowledged. Acknowledgement should also be provided for writing assistance, technical editing, language editing, and proofreading. Therefore, editing companies need to be duly acknowledged in professionally edited manuscript as per the ICMJE guidelines. Let us discuss how to identify publication misconduct. When an author discovers a significant error or inaccuracy in their own published work, it is the author's obligation to promptly notify the editor or publisher and cooperate with the editor or retract or correct the paper if this is deemed necessary by the editor. If the editor or the publisher learn from a third party that a published work contains an error, it is the obligation of the author to cooperate with the editor, including providing evidence to the editor where requested. It is not acceptable to enhance, move, remove, or introduce a specific feature within an image. Adjustments of brightness, contrast, or color balance are acceptable if and as long as they do not obscure or eliminate any information present in the original. Manipulating images for improved clarity is accepted, but manipulation for other purposes could be regarded as scientific misconduct and shall be dealt with accordingly. Authors shall comply with any specific policy for graphical images applied by the relevant publication, example, providing the original images as supplementary material with the article. Journals should have a clearly described process for handling allegations whenever they are brought to the journal's or publisher's attention. Journals must take seriously allegations of misconduct pre-publication and post-publication, that is before and after publication. Policies should include how to handle allegations from whistleblowers. Let us see how to handle complaints and appeals regarding publication misconduct. The below procedure applies to appeals to editorial decisions, complaints about failure of process such as long delays in handling papers, and complaints about publication ethics. The complaint should in first instance be handled by the editor-in-chief responsible for the journal and or the editor who handled the paper. If they are the subject of the complaint, please approach the in-house publishing contact. What happens when there is a complaint about scientific content? Example, an appeal against rejection. The editor-in-chief or handling editor considers the author's argument, the reviewer reports and decides whether the decision to reject should stand. Another independent opinion is required. The appeal should be considered. The complainant is informed of the decision with an explanation if appropriate. Decisions on appeals are final and new submissions take priority over appeals. When the complaint is about processes, example, time taken to review, the editor-in-chief together with the handling editor and or in-house contact will investigate the matter. The complainant will be given appropriate feedback. Feedback is provided to relevant stakeholders to improve processes and procedures. When there is a complaint about publication ethics, example, researchers, authors or reviewers contact. The editor-in-chief or handling editor follows guidelines published by the Committee on Publication Ethics. The editor-in-chief or handling editor may ask the publisher via their in-house contact for advice on difficult or complicated cases. The editor-in-chief or handling editor decides on a course of action and provides feedback to the complainant. If the complainant remains dissatisfied with the handling of their complaint, he or she can submit the complaint to the Committee on Publication Ethics. More information can be found here. And now, who are the predatory publishers and journals? Predatory publishing is the publication of an article in the journal that lacks the usual feature of editorial oversight, transparent policies, and operating procedure of legitimate peer-reviewed journals. Predatory journals exploit the authors by charging the publication fee and deceiving them by providing the false claim about the journal's impact factor, indexing, and peer review. Predatory publishing is harmful for both the author and the community. Predatory publishing may tarnish the image of the author. Articles published in predatory journals are usually not appreciated by the subject expert. It can misinform the readers and propagate wrong science because of poor quality control. Sometimes genuine information also gets missed because most of the predatory journals are not indexed in the database, so papers are not easily traceable. Predatory publishing can be avoided by educating researchers, supervisors, and administrators about fake journals. Authors should also learn how to identify trustworthy journals. If the journal website mentions of indexing, then it is important to cross-check the inclusion of the journal in the mentioned database. For an open access journal, the inclusion in Directory of Open Access Journals (DOAJ) can be checked at the DOAJ website. The journal's claim of the Journal Citation Report (JCR) impact factor can be verified by its International Standard Serial Number (ISSN) number in the JCR master list. Another approach to check trustworthy journals is to self-assess the journal through websites like thinkchecksubmit.org. So, after knowing all these details about publication ethics, let us conclude that awareness of good publication practices should be generated among new authors to prevent unethical practices in publication of scientific research. Each institute or department should resort to COPE or ICMJE recommendations for publications and draft their own standard operating procedure for authors who are actively involved in research. Unethical practices on the part of the authors or scientific misconduct should be discouraged and addressed by appropriate training and guidance. Thank you very much.